Greetings, internet clicker of links. I needed an intro because I went out dirt biking and I just hit record. And then I'm watching back my edit being like, this doesn't make any sense. So I'm here to tell you about the sense that, I'm here to birth sense, essentially. So I went dirt biking on my birthday, and on the way out there, I was kind of like, am I too old for this? Is this where I should be? Is this what I want to be doing? So the first part of the video I'll put chapters down to is a bunch of dirt biking advice. I left it in there because I was like, you know what? This seems like really good sage advice. I had an excellent coach out at MX Factory, which is in Lockhart, Texas. I highly recommend, even if maybe just make a trip out of it and come here and go down there. They do learn to ride camps. They've got awesome coaches, an awesome facility out in the middle of nowhere. It's about 40 minutes southwest, I think. If you're in central Austin or downtown Austin, it's probably only a 20-minute drive. So I left that chunk in there, and then I left a little existential vlog from me. I lost all my audio again because this setup just isn't doing it. I don't know what's going on. So I kind of just filmed a little blip of me just like ripping it on this awesome track that they have. And then I talk about entropy with Lukas, my husband, at the very end. So I'll put the chapters down below, and I'm going to answer the question, am I, as a 33-year-old woman, am I too old to get into dirt biking?
I get to just have fun.
I was about to say, I'm like, you get to come out here, because it would be helpful too for me to see you do stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm just getting caught in the matrix of minutia, which is a bummer. But
yeah, that's one thing. It always helped me if I had a coach, explaining all these crazy things. I'd be like, what in the hell are you talking about? Well, they just go and do it for you.
It's so...
Okay, right? Yeah, that makes sense.
It's so funny because I'm already mentally exhausted undoing all the street riding shit that you've told me. Right. So it's funny that...
Yeah, breaking bad habits and then breaking already existing muscle memory, right? Trying to break that and then adjust it to something new is completely different.
Yeah, because you'll explain it to me and I'm like, oh dude, I got it. And then I go out here and I'm like, what
it makes
it's
complete
gone.
sense, but how in the hell am I supposed to do it, right? Yeah. The main thing is just keeping that consistency with it. So like if you want to get really good at this and then keep doing it, get a bike and just ride consistently, and then ride different aspects of things. What I've been trying recently, I haven't done street bike stuff yet. I may get into that later, but when I can't do this anymore. But
what does that mean when you can't do this anymore? Like you're bored, or you physically have grown up and you can't do it anymore?
Not when my body won't allow me to. Pretty much, I'm messing. Yeah, I mean, luckily I was brought up. I'm like a robot with technique when I ride, just because of how much that was coached, compared to some other people, which they go fast. But I don't know. I mean, you hurt yourself eventually. It's a lot of trauma depending on what you're doing. I race and do like the moto crazy stuff where I'm like going as fast as possible. There's like other people next to me. We're banging bars, hitting crazy jumps right next to each other, jumping over people, all that really scary stuff. But the kind of stuff that you would be looking to do, trail riding, kind of just going around, having fun. I really respect that stuff, actually. I love trail riding. I love doing stuff like that. If I have like an extra hour out here in between lessons, actually yesterday, I went and did a full hour-long trail loop with this dude on this bike. Just because I had a little bit of time, I was like, hey, you want to go ride some trails? And we went and rode some trails. So, I dab my foot into everything, but racing's mostly, that high adrenaline stuff is fun. It's fun. Get that out of the way while I still can, and then I can enjoy the comfortable stuff, Then
you're gonna get your ADV bike.
Oh, maybe, man. I don't know.
What kind of, if you had to get a street bike, what would it be?
Oh, if I'm being honest with you, I would get a dual sport.
Yeah.
I would get probably one of those CRF 450Ls.
Yeah.
Or I really like the KTM 500 EXCs.
I like really that that's your street bike. You're like, oh.
Well, I'm gonna get a street dirt bike, Yeah.
Right, okay.
If anything, actually, I was like drooling over those new, the Gas 300 two-stroke dual sports.
I haven't seen those.
Those things are, oh my God, they're so cool. They're so cool. But either way, sorry. I get distracted. You got me talking about dirt bikes, man. You got me talking.
Well, dude, I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, man, am I too old for this?
Oh, not at all. No.
But
actually, I had a lesson that kind of like blew my mind with this. What was it? He was like a man in his 60s, right? Him and his younger friend, he was like in his late 40s, I'd say. They came over here from Ohio for a lesson. They were just in Texas doing fun stuff, and they saw us, and they're like, yeah, let's go ride some dirt bikes, you know? But this 60-year-old dude, he has this race bike at home, and he rides trails and he races trails, not professionally, but just for fun, right? This man was fast. When I tell you he was fast, I was going as fast as I could through those trails, and he was like knocking on my back door the whole time. I'm like looking back at the, like, how are you still there? Like, it really impressed me.
Every time I've been to a track, I mean, the only people who can afford it are old. Those are the only ones who can light money on fire. And it's inspiring to be like, you know, I'm in my 30s, and I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah, man,
why not? I mean, go until you break your collarbone or some shit.
Well, if you do it right, it's really safe. I think if you come here, get lessons, stay consistent with it, work on the things that are important, and then, you know, once you have that fundamental technique and everything, then you can go and do whatever the hell you want, right? You just have to make sure you keep that technique as you're doing it. That's the main reason I'm still somewhat safe after everything. You know, I've been racing for 6 years, but I've literally only broken my feet like twice. And, you know, that's it. And like a concussion once.
What an important thing. How,
right?
like, let's say you're somebody like me who has a decade to scrape off of bad habits.
Yeah.
How long or how many sessions or how many months would it take?
That is a very good question. It kind of depends on what you're doing and how you do it. I'd say the best schedule for that would be come in for a lesson once a month, once every 2-3 weeks, you know, and then go and ride as much as possible by yourself. So try and get all that basic stuff from me and then work on it by yourself.
Yeah.
Get it really perfect. Get comfortable with that so you and I aren't working on the same things together, right? And then once you come back, I introduce new things, you know, new things that you need to work on, habits that you might have picked up, right? There's some new techniques and things you can try. Then you go and try that by yourself for another couple weeks, right? And you just keep that schedule going. And if you keep doing that, if you bounce between this, street bikes, adventure bikes, anything else that you want to do, eventually you'll get that habit and that muscle memory where you can just jump between the bikes and you just naturally, you know, after like 2 laps, you're comfortable, chameleon, as they call it, right? You hop on the bike and you're ready to go. You know? Right. Yeah. Yeah. So it just depends on how you do it. If you're consistent and you have like, you know, well, consistent seat time on the bike, then you're good, solid. I mean, you've, spent an hour on the bike right now and you're riding better than most people after like a day or two of riding.
Oh, sick.
So,
that's,
you know.
Yeah, and I haven't been dirt biking since like the fall.
Right, right.
So
if you think about it, as long as you introduce those habits immediately, right, even though you don't feel comfortable doing everything I'm telling you to right now, if you keep doing it, eventually you'll feel comfortable doing it. The main thing with motorcycles in general, street bikes, you probably had to get over this too. There's that natural fear of like, I'm not supposed to be doing this, right? Your body tells you, just like the ape mind in your head, right? I'm not supposed to be doing this.
Every corner so far on a dirt bike. You're like,
yes.
I should just walk through this.
In general, like human nature,
yeah.
Our bodies aren't created to do this kind of stuff, right? We're supposed to be walking everywhere, right? So starting to do this, you have to really kind of adapt your mind and your body, use those different muscles that you don't use anywhere else. That's something I didn't really mention.
All right, so I probably lost all the audio. I don't fucking know why it said media timeout. Am I too old? I don't know, man. I'm 33 and I want to be challenged. And it's like, fuck it, you know? I'm having way more fun than I thought I would. And I'm going way faster than I thought I would. And I've only been on dirt like twice. And like I was saying, I thought it'd be so fucking, like Lukas asked, he's like, dude, do you want to do mushrooms and go on a dirt bike? And I was like, would that be the secret, you know? Like, would you just unlock it? We'd become evolved apes? Would it be like riding a rocket ship in fucking Las Vegas as your hands turn into rainbow fractals? I don't think you can get too old to dirt bike. Unless you hate having fun. God, it's so much easier though. You could like just not do it, sit home and not get fit, but there's kind of something addicting about the challenge. And here we are gonna learn about berms. Berms.
Alrighty, so like I said, 4 key things we're going to change up. They're all super easy and we've talked about all 4 of them so far. But the main one, the most important one I'd say, is line selection, right? We talked about this earlier, wide to, outside to in, right? for a berm like this, it's a little bit different. It's still outside, but you're not sweeping in. See my line coming into it?
Yeah.
I hit it like 3 or 4 times. You can see how I'm on the far, far outside, almost in the grass line out there. And I hold.
You're in the cool guy zone.
Yeah, past the pro line, I was calling it earlier, the pro line. But you're doing pretty good with it, actually. I can see your lines are like right here. So if you pretty much just go like, I'd say, you know, a foot almost more to the right and then stay there, stay all the way on that outside and sweep into that berm and try and kind of hold that middle line like you can see I'm in through that whole thing. Smooth, just gradual all the way around it. If you come in on the inside right here, you're gonna end up turning 1 corner into 2, right? If you come in on the inside, it's, instead of it being a smooth arc, it's and then again, right?
Yeah.
Makes it into a double apex. But if you do it this way, it's a single apex corner.
Woo! Dropping the knees, hitting rocks. This is where I want to be on my fucking birthday. Getting old. See, I don't like this big bike. Woo!
Yeah!
Dude, that bike is way better.
Yeah?
I mean, just...
Yeah, this
thing, I'm like, okay, shit.
For someone that's going from like a moto bike to a trail bike.
For my first bike, what would you recommend?
A good mix in between the complete trail bike feeling and the kind of hybrid feeling. Like I was saying, that CRF 250F, because this is a 300, 230. With the 250, you get like right in between. And those 250s have shorter suspension, or a shorter seat height, I mean. So it'd be a little bit easier for you. Wouldn't be.
But you'd be like, oh wait, that's right, I can't reach the ground.
But you can shorten suspension on these bikes, luckily.
Yeah, I feel like this would be, after I get comfortable on something a little bit lighter.
Yeah, definitely. This would be like a secondary bike to have if you want to go out and just mob some trails, go super fast, and like, yeah. But having like a first bike to kind of have like an in-between between everything, yeah, I'd say good thing to do.
Okay.
Yeah. The cool thing with dirt bikes, I wouldn't say it's a cool thing. The money pit aspect of dirt bikes. You know,
dude, that's just motorcycles, man.
well, anything with a damn motor, you know.
Yeah, game over.
With these, there's just so many different types of dirt bikes. So like you get a trail bike, and you're like, fuck. Now I want a pit bike, so you go and buy a 110, and you're like, damn it, now I want a moto bike, and you go and get a 450 or a 250, and you're like, I want a 2-stroke, and you go and get a 125 or a, yeah.
It's a curse. So I'm here for it though.
Hey, but then, you know, you got every tool in the toolbox, you can just have fun. Either way,
dude, I'm 5'8", and I can't even, like...
I'm 6'1", and I still barely flat foot on it, so, yeah, that thing, it's a beast here.
Dude, if a 33-year-old chick on her birthday can fucking crush it and rip it on the track, so can you. So no, I'm not too fucking old. I want to be challenged, maybe because I'm a masochist. I'm tired of riding on the street, and it's funny to hear all these dirt bike people go like, dude, I have no idea how you ride on the street. Fucking do it. Whatever you want to do that's a challenge, just fucking do it. Don't listen to anybody. Don't listen to your inner curmudgeon-y old person sitting on the front porch of your brain. You know, you can have fucking 9-year-olds watching being like, what the fuck is wrong with her? Be like, dude, it's my second time out here. Eat a butt crack. Woo! So much fucking fun, dude. I'm gonna go eat fried chicken and drink old fashioned.
Do you like getting older?
Well, I'm sitting here thinking about, now that we're doing what I said we were gonna do, which is eat fried chicken and drink Negronis. It's my birthday, and so obviously I'm thinking a lot about death and entropy. Did you think I was gonna go dirt biking on my birthday?
I mean, it makes sense. Here's our fried chicken. Those are homeless baby toes. Those are well done.
You said it makes sense, because I was thinking you would never go dirt biking on your birthday.
No, because I don't like fun. That's like work to me. But no, I would do that.
Well, it was funny, I got on a dirt bike and it was a lot harder than I thought it was immediately, and I'm like, why am I doing this on my fucking birthday? But then it started clicking, like, I'm reaching, when you're in your 30s, you're kind of like, what the fuck is going on? A little bit. And
Yeah,
it's,
that's when people start like doing bondage. Like you're
what are you trying to say?
well, that's another topic, but your brain plasticity, you know, you want to push the limits and try new shit out, so it makes sense.
Yeah,
You don't want to just go out to Cheesecake Factory.
I do want to go to Cheesecake Factory.
Remember their funfetti cheesecake? That shit.
That's where we're going after this. Yeah, no, I was out there being like, okay, I could just, there's a million other things I could be doing, or I could be learning something new that's really challenging. It's physically challenging.
Yeah, and mentally challenging.
And mentally challenging.
It's a totally new way of writing. But why I'm saying it makes sense is because you're always pushing the limits and you always want to like break your own mental boundaries, and
I thought it was just because I was a masochist.
that's part of it. That's part of pushing the boundaries. Like you indulge in the suffering, and that is learning new shit and doing things that you're not comfortable with.
You know,
That's AKA bondage. I don't like that, by the way.
being in Lockhart reminds me of something that the guy who tattooed me here, Dave, last time we were here, he was saying, we were talking about doing drugs, and he's like, dude, I love fucking being on the edge on acid. He's like, I love that space where you don't know what's gonna happen. He's like, it feels kind of evil. And I was like, that's one way to look at it. And it's kind of like that with dirt biking. It's hard and it's a fucking challenge, but you're like on the edge. And I like the mindset of like being into that. Yeah, I feel like I'm at a turning point in my life a little bit. Like where I want to quit being scared of shit and complacent and be like, oh fuck it, let's just fucking do it. And I guess it takes age in order to do that.
Well, yeah, and you're also at the point in motherhood where, I don't mean this disparagingly, but I think a lot of people just say like,
Fuck it.
okay, I'm just gonna go with the flow and do the easy thing and sacrifice, you know, what I want to do, and just kind of lean into that. And then, you know, like later on in their life is when they're like, and it's like that's when most people, you know, they'll put aside their needs and wants until they're in their like 50s or whatever, and then whatever, maybe start dipping into more what they want to do. But you're taking the opposite path, which is like, no, I'm not going to sacrifice what I want to do and how I want to grow. And you're doing that while also raising a human.
Your plate is full when you're raising a human, and I'm just like eating more. I don't know. It's like, it's yeah, I'm eating more. Well, you're trying to make more room for everything. For being present as a mother, but also like, I want you to pull up with our kids in the Bronco and be like, there's mom doing her fucking thing. Opposed to like the kind of mom that you see who gets weepy when her kids leave, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that's
just not who you are.
That's just not who I am. I don't want.
That's me.
That's you. I don't want to put all my eggs in that basket and then your eggs turn into birds and they fucking leave and they turn and then I don't know who I want to be for my kids, but I want them to do what scares them. I don't want them to be complacent and be like, oh, well, that will never happen, and maybe in the next life I'll reincarnate as a Kyle and my parents will take me to dirt biking classes.
It's just uncompromising.
Yes. I threw you on camera.
Happy birthday.
Thanks. It's my birthday. I came out of my mom's pussy. 30.
She went into her pussy and then she came out of it.
Did I go into it? Part of me went into it.